Welcome to Jesus Calling for September 21st. Wait quietly in my presence. This is going to be good. I love all the ones that just have us wait. Let's look up 1 Kings 19:12. 1 Kings, we don't usually get to the Old Testament much, so that'll be good. And then Psalm 5 verse 3. Okay, I love this story. 1 Kings 19, the chapter title is The Lord Appears to Elijah. I'm just going to read the whole thing. It's not that long. And the word of the Lord came to him. What are you doing here, Elijah? He replied, I have been very zealous for God, the Lord Almighty. The Israelites have rejected your covenant, broken down your altars, and put your prophets to death with the sword. And I am the only one left, and now they are trying to kill me too. It's all like boo-hoo, boo-hoo, right? And the Lord said, Go out and stand on the mountain in the presence of the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by. Then a great and powerful wind tore the mountains apart and shattered the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind, there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. Other translations say a still small voice. And when Elijah heard it, he pulled his cloak over his face and went out and stood in the mouth of the cave. Psalm 5:3. In the morning, O Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning, I lay my requests before you and wait in expectation. Wait quietly in my presence while my thoughts form silently in the depths of your being. Do not try to rush this process, because hurry keeps your heart earthbound. I am the creator of the entire universe, yet I chose to make my humble home in your heart. It is there where you know me most intimately. It is there where I speak to you in holy whispers. Ask my spirit to quiet your mind so that you can hear my still, small voice within you. I am speaking to you continually, words of life, peace, and love. Turn your heart to receive these messages of abundant blessing. Lay your requests before me and wait in expectation. That is just so great. I love it. Wait quietly in my presence while my thoughts form silently in the depths of your being. Do not try to rush this process, because hurry keeps your heart earthbound. I am the creator of the entire universe, yet I chose to make my humble heart I am the creator of the entire universe, yet I chose to make my humble home in your heart. It is there where you know me most intimately. It is there where I speak to you in holy whispers. Ask my spirit to quiet your mind so that you can hear my still, small voice within you. I am speaking to you continually, words of life, peace, and love. Turn your heart to receive these messages of abundant blessing. Lay your requests before me and wait in expectation. That is just so great. I love it. So in both of those, in the Psalm, it says how we lay our requests before him and wait in expectation. And then in the story with Elijah, I mean, it's just so funny, right? He's kind of like, oh, everyone's turning away and now they're chasing me and I'm the only one left. And how often are we like that too? You know, we're just kind of like boo-hooing our list, before God. But you know what? He hears all of our prayers and requests. He knows what's going on. And what he wants most is for us just to come to him and be quiet and just still our minds and still our hearts and just focus on him. He wasn't in the big rock earthquake, and he wasn't in the wind, and he wasn't in the fire. What was he in? The still small voice. So I hope today that you take time to just be listening to God's voice and do it all day long. Even at work, you can just take a little break and even just close your eyes and just say, God, I'm just listening for your still small voice. I'm listening for a word on what to do. And he will speak to you because he is faithful to do that. And he just wants you to bask in your presence. And how exciting that he has decided to make his home in our heart. That's pretty awesome. So I hope you have a peaceful day reflecting on him and listening for that still small voice. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. Welcome to Jesus Calling for September 26th. Come to me and listen. The verses are Isaiah 50 verse 4 and John 19:30. Let's look those up. Here's Isaiah 50 verse 4. The sovereign Lord has given me an instructed tongue to know the word that sustains the weary. He wakens me morning by morning, wakens my ear to listen like one being taught. I'm also going to read this in the Message. If you've never read in the Message, it's a version of the Bible that's like for 2022. It's in our kind of language, as if I was just speaking to a friend. So I really like to look these up sometimes. So let's look up Isaiah 50 verse 4 in the Message. The Master God has given me a well-taught tongue, so I know how to encourage tired people. He wakes me up in the morning, wakes me up, opens my ears to listen as one ready to take orders. I'm going to continue with verse 5. The Master God opens my ears, and I didn't go back to sleep and didn't pull the covers back over my head. Okay, John 19, the chapter title is The Death of Jesus. I'm going to start with verse 28. Later, knowing that all was now completed, so that the scripture would be fulfilled, Jesus said, I am thirsty. A jar of wine vinegar was there, so they soaked a sponge in it, put the sponge on a stalk of the hyssop plant, and lifted it to Jesus' lips. When he had received the drink, Jesus said, It is finished. With that, he bowed his head and gave up his spirit. Come to me and listen. Attune yourself to my voice and receive my richest blessing. Marvel at the wonder of communing with the Creator of the universe while sitting in the comfort of your home. Kings who reign on the earth tend to make themselves inaccessible. Ordinary people almost always never gain an audience with them. Even dignitaries must plow through red tape and protocol in order to speak with royalty. Though I am King of the universe, I am totally accessible to you. I am with you wherever you are. Nothing can separate me from your presence. When I cried out from the cross, it is finished. The curtain of the temple was torn from the top to the bottom. This opened the way for you to meet me face to face with no need of protocol or priests. I, the King of Kings, am your constant companion. I so love that the curtain was torn. I just love that Jesus came, did the sacrifice once and for all. For one, that we don't have to keep doing sacrifices. But for two, then it's just a straight line to him. I don't have to go to a priest and confess my sins or a pastor or anybody else. It is straight line between me and Jesus. And I just love knowing I have my own little personal communication line. I mean, I can just call him and talk to him anytime, and so can you. And doesn't that just give you comfort, knowing that even if other people around you aren't listening, a lot of times people don't listen to you, or you try to say something and people cut you off, but then God is always listening. God and Jesus. I mean, I don't know how they do it. I mean, obviously he's God, but sometimes it's hard to listen to more than one person at once, and I can't imagine all the little prayers going up, even just from like our town, much less America, and then you have the whole world. But somehow they can hear each and every word and every prayer. And so I hope you just remember that today, knowing that you have a direct line to God. He is with you always. And guess what? He wants to hear from you. He does. So talk to him today. The line is open. Talk a lot to God today, and I'll see you here tomorrow. Welcome to Jesus Calling for September 27th. Relax in my everlasting arms. The scripture is Deuteronomy 33:27 and Psalm 27:13-14. Let's look those up. Deuteronomy 33, the chapter title is Moses Blesses the Tribes, and he's going through each tribe and blessing them. And let's get down to 27. The eternal God is your refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. He will drive out your enemy before you, saying, Destroy him. So Israel will live in safety alone. Jacob's spring is secure. Psalm 27, there's a lot of great verses. I'm going to start at verse 1 to give you just a couple verses here. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Then I'm going to jump down to 4. One thing I ask of the Lord, this is what I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to seek him in his temple. Okay, now I'm going to go down to where we're supposed to be, 13 and 14, but those other verses were so great. Verse 13, I am still confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart. Wait for the Lord. And off to the side here, I have, when earthly life is depressing, remember, heaven awaits you to live forever. Relax in my everlasting arms. Your weakness is an opportunity to grow strong in awareness of my almighty presence. When your energy fails, do not look inward and lament the lack that you find there. Look to me and my sufficiency. Rejoice in my radiant riches that are abundantly available to help you. Go gently through this day, leaning on me and enjoying my presence. Thank me for your neediness, which is building trust bonds between us. If you look back on the journey thus far, you can see that the days of extreme weakness have been some of your most precious times. Memories of these days are richly interwoven with golden strands of my intimate presence. Oh, I love that. I'm going to read this one line one more time. Thank me for your neediness, which is building trust bonds between us. A lot of people think, oh, well, when I become a Christian, everything's going to be great. Well, not so. We live in a sinful world. And what I have found and what, she's saying there is true, that the times when I've needed God and then he comes to help me, those are the times that we're just so interwoven and we're just so close. And I feel him and I see how he provides for me. If you never had a problem, you never know God could solve them, right? That's an old saying. And so don't look at bad times and hard times as, oh, I'm being maybe punished or God doesn't like me or care for me. Everyone's going to have hard times. That's just part of life. But instead in those hard times, immediately look up to God and ask for his help. And he is so ready and willing to be jumping in there and helping us out. And then just, like they said, those times just really get impressed on our brain and we remember them. And then the next time you're in a tough situation, you're going to remember, God came to my rescue. He interwoven his life with mine. He helped me out. One thing, it's so fun. I know sign language, so this is a sign for help. And I just love that. It's like, here comes God, boop, and everything's going to be okay because God is helping me. So he is there to help you. So I hope, especially if you're having a hard day today, just call out to him and he is going to help and lift you up and you're going to have a much better day. It won't be perfect, but you know what? His presence can just flood us and just give us the peace that we need. So I hope you lean on him today and I will see you back here tomorrow. You can order your own Jesus Calling devotional book by going to jesuscalling.com. And I would love to answer any questions you may have about faith in Jesus. Just email me through my website, nancyjoytoyou.com. And I hope you go out and shine for him today. See you tomorrow.